Hi, it's Ashley from Confident Going. Today we are going over the budget or custom budget calculator instructions. So when you purchase the file, you will download a PDF file, and from that PDF file there will be a link to go to Google Sheets. When you go to Google Sheets, you will be prompted to make a copy of the file, sorry. And once you do that, this is what you will see. On the off chance that you get an error issue through Google, often it'll say, sorry, the file is unavailable at this time or something like that. Generally, that means that your Google Drive is full. So if you do receive this error message, the first thing that you're going to want to do is either go through your Google Drive and delete some stuff, get rid of some emails, or alternatively make a new Google account and use it for your budgets. So once we get into the file, this is what you will see. You can click this for a link to this video tutorial, which we'll be working once we complete this. Other than that, on this setup tab here, there's a few quick instructions. And then once you're ready, you can click over to the budget calculator tab. So the first thing that you're going to want to do is enter your currency. You can just type over the cell and enter in your currency symbol. And it will update the file for you automatically. The next thing that you're going to want to do is enter how you get paid. So if you receive a monthly salary or an hourly wage, that's what you'll need to decide. Now, if you have very inconsistent income or income that fluctuates a lot, maybe you receive tips, you will want to probably make an average, take like a 3-month average of your salary or your income, sorry, and then enter it in under monthly salary is what I would suggest. Or if you have various sources of income, maybe you do freelance work or you have a lot of sources, I would just use the monthly salary. Alternatively, if you get paid an hourly wage, let's say you get paid $15 an hour and you work 40 hours a week, the calculator here will automatically calculate it for you, taking off 20% in taxes on average. If you don't like that or your number is different, you can just type over this and whatever number is your number, you can put in there. So for this example, I'm going to use a monthly salary of $2,700 after taxes, and this is what will happen once you tell the spreadsheet what your income is. Keep in mind, this is based on monthly salary. If you want to do this for a bi-weekly or a weekly budget, just ensure that this number is reflective of that. So maybe you get paid $1,300 or $1,350 bi-weekly. You would just change the number that you enter here. So moving on, there are 3 options with this file. There's a 70-20-10 budget, a 50-30-20, or a 95-5. The first number, so 70, 50, 90, those are for your needs category. So your biggest, most important budgeting items, for example, housing, groceries, things that you need to survive. And so the larger your monthly income, the smaller the first number could be. So if you're on a very small, tight, low income budget, I would suggest doing a 95.5. If you have a mid-range, medium budget, or maybe you share with a partner or split your rent or things like that, maybe a 70-20-10, or if you have double income, maybe a 50-30-20. Obviously, you can play with these and figure out what works best for you. Those are just some recommendations. So based on that, or what you think you want, or what you've maybe seen on TikTok, you can pick a budget. All you need to do is tick the box, and it will show you in this chart here, even before you tick the box, what the breakdown is for your budget. So you can see under a 70-20-10 budget that for your needs is 70% of your income would be $1,890, 20%, $540, 10%, $270. Likewise, you can see the calculations here for each of the budgets. Now, the best way to decide what budget is right for you, what I would suggest, and obviously this is completely whatever works for you, is entering in all of your must-have needs expenses. So housing, groceries, car insurance, gas, all of that kind of stuff that you must pay every month to survive. Enter the categories for them here, and then the amounts that you spend on it monthly. Again, if you're doing this bi-weekly, enter your bi-weekly amounts. And then whatever number this works out to, you're going to want to find a budget that suits you best. So for example, let's say when I started this, I thought that I would do a 50-30-20 budget because that's what's popular. Looking at this, once I've entered in all of my monthly expenses, you can see the difference here is $540. That means that my goal is $1,350, but what I'm actually spending is almost $1,900. So I'm overspending in my needs category, which means I probably need to find a different budget. Now, what I would recommend that you do is check them all out. So try them all on and see what works for you, what makes the most sense. That works with your specific lifestyle and needs. For this example, I'm going to use a 70-20-10 as it's what it's set up for already. So now that we've picked a 70-20-10, we've listed out all of our expenses. Now to do this, you're just going to type in the word and then how much you spend for the month. Let's just change this a little bit to make it work for us. And as you can see, all the calculations are done for you, so no math is required. Once you've done your needs, then you'll move on to your wants, so things like clothing, travel, dining out, personal care, hair care. Again, you'll type in the expense category and the amount. And then again, under savings, it'll be the same thing. So different types of saving funds that you have. Maybe you have stocks, maybe you have different types of emergency funds or sinking funds. Enter all of those here and then the amounts that correspond. And that's basically how the custom budget calculator works. If for some reason these numbers don't exactly work for you, you can tweak them a little bit. Send me a message if you need some help with that. And then the other great thing about this file that what is included is a budget. So this is a budget spreadsheet. It's got some data already in it, which I'm going to erase so that we can see how it works. All of this data that you've entered here on this spreadsheet calculates or copies over to the budget. If you don't want it, you can just simply erase it, though I would recommend using it since you've done all of the hard work. So the first thing optionally that you can do is enter the date. So to do that, you're just going to double click the cell and then click the date of the month, and it will automatically update for you. So if we're in April, let's just say, it'll switch. Now the next thing that you're going to want to do is enter your income. So if you have various sources of income, you can enter them all here, and then the amount. Depending on how you budget, you can enter this ahead of time and estimate your budgets, sorry, or you can enter it once you're paid. It depends on your lifestyle and how that works, but it would work either way. And then once your income amount is in, you're just going to look over the budget, make sure you haven't missed anything, make sure everything's accounted for. All of your numbers are here, and you can see that the goal amounts are there, how much you've spent is 0, and how much is left. Now, I'm just going to undo this so that you can see, since I've entered a bunch of numbers, what happens. So in order to use the expense tracker, you're going to double click, select the date, click the little drop down arrow, and find the category that you're using. We're doing housing here, and then you're just going to enter the amount. So just to show you, you'll just enter 1200, and everything automatically calculates for you. So you can see here 1200. If we just change this to 1500 so that you can see, it updates for you automatically. Now, as you saw, it was red. So if you've overspent on your budget categories, the numbers or values here will turn red to show you that, hey, you're overspending. And yeah, that's pretty much for the month. What you're going to want to do is to continue entering in your expenses. If this is too tedious for you or not your style, you don't need to use it. You can just enter in emergency, how much you spent. Like if you transfer the $200 directly into your bank account or stuff it under your mattress, you can just enter 200 here and overwrite the spreadsheet. It's no problem. And then again, just like on the budget calculator tab, you can see here your goal is $270. You can see how much you've spent and how much is left to spend. So let's just do this for the spreadsheet. We are going to go down and find savings, which I like to scroll and click, but you can also just type in savings and it'll populate for you. And then we are going to put in 70. Now you can see that it has calculated the difference and updated your budget for you. As your month is going on, you can pop into your budget here and see what's happening. There are two graphs at the top here. This one is a pie chart and it shows you the percentages. So ideally at the end of the month, when the month is over, you'd want this to match this. So for example, under needs, it's currently sitting at 82.6%, where we're trying to get it to 70. Wants again is 12 and 20, and then savings is 10 and 5.4. So hopefully once these are all close to zero, the difference is at the bottom, sorry, it's not highlighting, it ideally would be close to or matching the pie charts. The next chart that's beside it over here is how well am I sticking to my budget. So you can see the top line is the estimated amount of your budget and the amount you've actually spent. So the blue line will show you. If the gray line is very large and the blue line is very small, that means you haven't spent any of your money yet. Whereas if the blue line is very big and the gray line is very small, that means you've spent more than you've budgeted. So it's an easy way to see how you are doing for the month. Other than that, ideally at the end of the month, you want to have $0 left to spend and ideally not a lot of red overspending. If you want to use this bi-weekly or every month after the first month, all you need to do, I've already done one here, is make a copy of it. I'll just delete this one. Okay, so to make a copy, you're just going to right click on the tab and hit duplicate. The other thing you may want to do is rename the tabs. So if this is your March budget, let's just go to right click and then rename. So I'll do that one more time. Right click, rename, and then maybe you'll call it March 1, and maybe this one will be March 2. If you can easily duplicate it for as many months as you need, and it will all be saved automatically for you in the tab. If you do change the information on this tab, it will alter the estimated categories, but it won't change the spent amount. So if you decide you want to change your budget calculator, you just want to keep that in mind. Alternatively, you can just make a copy. You can go to File, make a copy, and it'll automatically duplicate the file, and you can make as many copies as you need and figure out the best budget for you. So that is the way the file works. It is available for sale. The link is below in the descriptions. If you have any questions, please let me know. Thanks for watching.